Good morning, Susan and John. Let me just adjust my camera here. All right. Thank you for bearing with me here as I finish getting set up. I think we're good to go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sun and Moon Studios YouTube Live this morning. I'm Anaïs. For practice today, you're going to need a blanket and 2 blocks, the usual. So when you're ready, come to any seated position. We'll take a few moments, a few breaths to get centered before we get moving. So let the eyes settle down, gazing on the floor, or maybe close the eyes altogether. And let your hands come together in your lap. Maybe interlacing the fingers or stacking the hands, letting them come together in a way that represents a kind of friendliness or kindness towards yourself, towards your body, a friendship even, if you will. And begin to bring your attention to the breath, breathing in through the nostrils, into the throat, really feeling for that raw sensation of breath as it enters the body. Notice how the lungs expand, the diaphragm moves, the ribs make space for the lungs. What other sensations do you notice inside the body when you invite the breath? And as you exhale, maybe noticing or sensing for a release, not just of the breath, but perhaps of the body as we begin to get more comfortable, more at ease in this seat. And as you inhale, continue to sense for that spaciousness inside the body. And as you exhale, notice that soft release. You might begin to sense that the bones are getting heavier. The flesh around the bones softens. And the mat beneath you or the blanket or chair receive you. Making space for the breath inside the body. Making more space for your body on your mat. Let's take one more deep, nourishing breath here. Let it be the most nourishing breath you've taken today. As you exhale, sigh it all out. And begin to gently open the eyes and bring your awareness back to the room around you. So today, we're going to be opening the hips, as we do in any yoga practice, but we'll see how many different ways, different directions we can warm up, soften, create space inside the hips today in whatever time we have left. So let's go ahead and get started in table pose. Since we're beginning on the knees, I always recommend the option to bring your blanket underneath the knees for a little more comfort. And if you like the height, definitely in today's practice, I encourage you to welcome the blocks. They're not necessarily necessary here, but I will let you know when they are. All right, so coming here to table pose, bring your hips over to the right. Let your gaze look over your left shoulder. Begin to breathe into the right side seam. If this feels like too much, your hips and your head can go in the same direction, and you'll have a very similar effect. Breathing into any opening on this side. And then bring your hips over to the left side. Bring your gaze over your right shoulder. One full cycle of breath here. And then return back to the first side. This time going a little bit faster, more of a swaying motion. Continue to look over your opposite shoulder. And then come on over to the second side again. Maybe inhaling on one side, exhaling to the other. Just sort of getting a feel for where the hips are today. How much love, how much warming up they need. Continue to breathe. Connecting the pace of breath to the pace of this movement. Let's do one more time to each side. First side. Second side. And then come back to center. Table pose. And inhale into the back as the spine rounds. As you exhale, release your belly down. Lift your head just a tiny bit. Inhale here. Exhale, press into the hands to lift your spine again. Round the spine. And then deep breath here at the top. Imagining that that breath comes into the spine and creates nice spaciousness between each vertebra as you breathe in. Exhale to release. And belly drops down. Pull your chest through. And then press the mat away from you again as you round the spine. Just do a couple more like that. Again, letting the pace of your breath dictate the pace of this movement. Really getting the breath and body in tune. Let's go through 2 more cycles of breath here. Last one. And then release back to a neutral spine. You can keep your blanket where it is. And then take your right leg all the way back. Let the heel drop down to the mat and reach your right arm up towards the sky. Really plant that heel down. Breathing in all along the right hip. Breathing into any more opening you might be finding on this side. And if you'd like, you can even reach your right arm overhead for a little more stretch, a little more opening if that feels good. And then release your hand back down. Bring your right knee back in. Step the left back. Let the heel come down to the floor and lift your left arm up towards the sky. Nice deep breaths here. Noticing any differences from right and left sides. And just keeping those in mind as we continue today's practice, maybe being sensitive where you need it most. Option to reach your arm overhead. One more deep breath here. Wait for your exhale and release the left hand back down to the mat. Bring your left knee back in. Then let's come back to the first side. Step your right leg all the way back. This time stay on the toes. We're going to do a little twist here. So take your left arm up this time. Different sensation. And just honor whatever range of motion you're working with this morning. Wait for your exhale. Release the left hand back down. Bring the right knee in. And then step the left foot back, staying on the toes. Lift your right arm up towards the sky. If this is feeling a little cranky in the shoulders, you can bend the elbow, bring your hand to your shoulder. And then release your right hand back down. Bring the left knee in. And then this time you're going to step the right foot all the way out to the side. All right, so right foot comes out to the side. And then plant the foot, plant the sole of the foot firmly down on the ground. Reach your right arm up. One full cycle of breath here. Sensing for any new spaciousness, new places of opening, and send the breath there. Wait for your exhale, release the right hand back down. And then keep the foot where it is. Lift the left arm out to the side. Maybe bringing it up a little bit closer to the ceiling if that feels good. Definitely not as much range of motion here, and that's perfectly normal, perfectly fine. Stay tuned into the body, tuned into the hips as we explore our limits here. Exhale, release your hand back down to the mat. Bring your right knee in and step the left foot out to the side. Plant the foot. Starting with the same side, lift your left arm up towards the sky. Inhale, inviting spaciousness. Exhale, inviting a little bit of softening. And then release the left hand back down. And lift the right arm out to the side. Maybe letting that arm come up a little bit higher if that feels good inside. Wait for your exhale. Release the right hand back down. Bring your left knee back in, and then step the right leg back out one more time. All right, this time, go ahead and come onto your blocks. And let your stance be pretty spacious here, letting there be plenty of space between the hands and the knees. All right. From here, begin to draw the hips back towards that back heel. You don't have to come all the way down. Let the right foot flex so that the toes pop up off the floor. And breathe into the spine. Now press into the right foot to come back up. Drop your hips. And let the chest scoop forward. Breathing here. Wait for your exhale. Push into the blocks to come all the way back. Hips come back towards the heels. Let your head drop down towards the ground and breathe into the spine. And wait for your exhale. Press the right foot back down to come up. Let the hips drop down towards the mat as you lift your chest. Exhale, push the blocks away from you. And come back to our neutral table. Bring the right knee in. Step the left foot out. Same thing here. Round the spine, bring the hips down towards the heels, or heel, I should say. Let the left toes pop up off the floor. Breathe into the spine. Now press the left foot into the floor to come back up. Coming all the way through, let your hips drop down, lift the chest. Nice deep breaths here as we open the front body and then press into the blocks to go back. Last cycle here. Come all the way back. Your head stay neutral around the spine. The vertebra. And press the left foot back down to come forward. Drop the hips and lift your chest. Wait for your exhale. Press into the blocks to come back up. And then bring the left knee back in. Remove your blocks. You can keep your blanket if you'd like. And just come back to our regular table pose here. All right, so we're gonna bring a little bit of circulation to the head. Let the head, the very top of the head, drop down to the mat. And roll a couple times, coming forward and back. Don't worry about your hair. Give yourself a nice little head massage. Maybe coming down onto the forearms if that feels better. And of course, if this is too much, you can back off or simply let the head hang. All right, release that. Come back to just forearms here. And then step the right foot back. Let the toes meet the floor and press your heel back, bringing a little bit of opening to the calf. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then bring the right knee back in. Step your left foot back. Coming onto the toes, press back through the heel. Breathing into that newly open space. As you exhale, maybe allowing it to soften, release. And then bring the left knee back in. All right. Tuck the toes. Lift your knees and press into the palms of your hands to bring the chest back towards the thighs. Lift the hips. Stay high on the heels here as we come to down dog. And then begin to walk out your dog, straightening and bending both sides. And now shorten your stance, bringing your hands back, a couple palm prints. And drag your right hand back towards the left foot, grabbing hold of the left ankle. Draw the left hip back, maybe pulling the chest through. And nice breath, as much breath as you need to welcome more space on this side. Release the right hand back. And then draw the left hand back, reaching across for the right ankle. Draw the right hip up and back. Maybe pull the chest through. Sensing for any differences between both sides and what that means for the breath that we send to those places. Wait for your exhale. Release your left hand back to where it started. Down dog. And then bring your hands forward again for a little wider stance. Lift your right leg back, lifting up towards the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, round the spine, bringing your knee to your nose. And step the right foot forward, eventually shimmying it between both hands. Stay high on the heel of the back foot. Press into the front foot to reach up. Stay low. Exhale, bring both hands in front of you, reaching out. Inhale, draw the left arm all the way back, reaching out wide. Exhale, close the book. Bring the left hand forward to meet the right. Other side now. Inhale, reach back with the right arm. And exhale, close your book, bringing the right hand to meet the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release your hands down to your mat or your blocks and step back to down dog. Nice deep breath here. And then let's move over to the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, round the spine, bring the knee to your nose and step the foot forward. Shimmy the foot between both hands for a nice wide lunge. And stay high on the heel of the back foot as you press into the front foot to reach both arms up. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, draw your right arm all the way back, opening out wide to the side. Exhale, bring the right hand forward. Inhale, reach the left arm back. Exhale, come back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release both hands back down to your blocks or your mat and step back. Down dog. One full cycle of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And then come back to the right foot, lift it up towards the sky. Round the spine, bring your knee to your nose and step it forward. Walking the foot up between both hands or a little bit behind. And then press through the front foot to reach both arms up. Inhale, nice deep breath here. Exhale, release both hands down. And then step the left foot to meet the right. Step the right leg all the way back. Press through the front foot to reach up. Exhale, release back down. Step forward with the right foot, letting both feet come together at the top of your mat. And then sit down, reach both arms up. Really sit down in your chair here. And then press through both feet to come all the way up to standing. Release your arms down. Reach both arms forward. And reach back with the left arm opening out to the side. Exhale, close the book, bringing the left hand back forward. And then coming to the other side, reach your right arm back. Nice big stretch on the side. And bring it back forward. Inhale, reach up. Sit down. Step back, a big step with your left foot. Reach both arms up. And then turn the whole body to face the side of your mat. Inhale, reach up as you ground down through both feet. Exhale, sit down and bring the arms into cactus arms, as I like to call them. Lovely. All right. Closing the book here, bring both hands together. Inhale, open the left arm out, opening the chest out to the side. Exhale, bring the arm back in. Other side. Open out to the right, reaching back with the right arm. And close the book, bringing both hands back together. Inhale, reach up, legs straighten. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe coming onto the blocks here. If your blanket is still under you, go ahead and remove that. Have your blanket handy. And then heel toe the feet together until they're about hip distance apart with the toes angled out to the side just slightly. All right, allow yourself to sit down here, either coming into a full squat or bringing the mat up to you with a couple blocks. All right, so wherever you are, bring the hands together in front of the heart. Let's take 2 full cycles of breath here. Finding nice, spacious opening in the front of the hips. And then release both hands down to the floor. Reach your left arm up to the sky as the back of the right arm pushes into the thigh to help it open. 1 full cycle of breath here. Release that hand back down. And then come up to the right side, pressing into the left thigh with the back of the left arm. 1 full cycle of breath. Exhale, release the hand back down. And then come on down to your seat. We've already run out of time today. If you have the time, I encourage you to come into pigeon for a little more hip opening or whatever classic hip openers you really enjoy. Otherwise, there's always Shavasana, which today instead we'll do a seated closing. So coming into a seated position here, go ahead and bring the hands together in front of the heart again. Let's take 1 deep breath together. Inhale, inviting that sensation of breath to open up all those spaces inside the body that we explored today. And as you exhale, inviting a sense of softness to those places. And maybe even noticing a shift here as we're sitting back in the first position that we started in today. Do you notice any more opening, any more release, softening? Perhaps there's some resistance, and that's okay too. So with your next breath, invite all of those sensations in. With your next exhale, allow them to release out. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Take care.